Okay, good evening and welcome to Yeshiva YouTube. Iyun with Benzion. Tonight's daf is Nazir daf mem number 40. As you can see, it's Purim week this week. Purim's going to be on Tuesday, Monday night, Tuesday. So, unless you're in Shalayim, which I'm not. So, technically, I'm in a celebrate Yerushalayim. I don't know why it's not on Tet Vav, but whatever reason, there are one in Paskin here that we celebrate Yud Daled. But you guessed it. I am a Mashiachist. That's what I'm dressing up as this Purim. Giving you a sneak preview over here. I got the beard. I need to get a little mustache over here. But I got the yarmulke. See, I'm Mashiach. Over there, you see it. HaMashiach. Yichia Adonenu Moreno. Melech HaMashiach La'olam Va'ed. Because Lubavitch Rebbe was Mashiach. He was. At least I believe that on Purim. Let's get into it. Iyun with Benzion today. I want to talk today about towards the end of the daf on Memam and Beis, where the Gemara today is talking about how you know that a Mitzorah at the end of his purification process, he has to shave not only his head, not only his beard, his entire body, wherever there's hair, he has to shave it. How do you know he has to use a razor? The Mishnah says he has to use a razor. Where do we know that a Mitzorah has to use a razor, specifically a razor to shave his head? Nazir and Levium also have to use a razor. But also Mitzorah has to use a razor. Nazir and Levium were explicit. But Asham, the Gemara deals with. So the Gemara says that according to the Rabban, we haven't dealt with Rabbi Lezer. On Mem Aleph, we deal with Rabbi Lezer. According to the Rabban, who we paskin like, right, who say, by when it comes to shaving your beard, it's machlokas and maseches makos. This is a famous machlokas, right? Are you allowed? You're not allowed. Every from Jew knows you're not allowed to shave your beard with a razor, right? You're not allowed to shave, right? You can't shave the corners of your beard, right? It says lo tashchisu, and it also says lo yigalechu. Two words, two psukim. One's by Kohanim, one's by Yisraelim, but the Gemara learns one from the other. Both are included. It says one pasuk says patzganam yigalechu, and one pasuk says bal tashch. You're not supposed to be destroy. You're not supposed to uproot the hairs of your beard. That's a halach in the Torah that everyone has to follow. The Rabbanan say the only Isser, we'll pick it up. Nemad Beis, about 7 lines down. The only way you're chayiv is if you shave your beard with a razor. Use scissors, use a trimmer, anything, right? Any Norelco, Phillips Norelco, not a problem. Those are Omer Afil Likto Malakid for Hitni chayiv. Those says even if you use Malakid for Hitni. So what does Malakid for Hitni mean? So I'm going to translate it according to the art scroll over here. He says, even if removed with various types of planes, see above note 9. Okay, let's go to note 9 over here. 40b, note 9. Here, Rashi Kedushin explains that malak is a type of plane used to polish the sheath of a sword, while hitting is a plane used by shield makers. Okay, it's some sort of blade that you use to either sharpen a sword, or sharpen a shield, or the sheath of a sword. The Rambam in Mishnah Makos, however, explains that malakid are types of tweezers. Okay, so you have two pshatim. Either it's some sort of blade which sharpens a shield, or sharpens maybe a sword, or it's a type of tweezer. Okay, so the Rabbanan say if you pluck your hairs from your beard with a tweezer, there's no problem. Lezer says, I feel liktam malakid redni chayiv. This is a famous machlok. Lezer says even if you use a tweezer or you use a type of blade which is not exactly a razor blade, you're still chayiv. Now we passing like the Rabbanan. You have to use a tar. Now the question comes up in practical halacha: are you allowed to shave with Norelco, Philip Norelco lift and cut? This most Jews. I have a Philip Norelco. For many years, before I bought the last shaver that I have now, I had a different shaver, which I bought in Borough Park. My grandmother, she's Allah Shalom, she passed away a couple of years ago. I bought it in some store in Borough Park, and they had a service there that they would take out the lift and cut. I wanted to take the lift and cut out because I remembered it was a machlokas. It's machlokas in the poskim. Some say lift and cut is like a razor. Now, hard to understand how a Phillips Norelco is like, it's not exactly a razor. If you've seen a razor, right? A razor looks very different than a Phillips Norelco. They said lift and cut is like a razor. Everyone agrees if you don't have lift and cut, that's okay. Question is, you have lift and cut. As well, lift and cut do. Lift and cut is mamish very similar to a way a razor. A razor really uproots the hair from, underneath the surface. And similar, lift and cut picks up the hair that's really underneath the surface of the skin, lifts it up and cuts it. So, you're really cutting from beneath the surface. That's what really a razor does. A razor really gets the closest shave you're gonna get. That's why all non-Jews use razors when they shave, because it's the closest shave you're gonna get. So, are you allowed to use it or not? So when I was in Borough Park, so I asked them to remove it, like $10 they charged to remove it. They had 2 seconds to remove it, charged $10 for that. Um, but it never gave such a great shave. So when I bought the latest shaver that I bought, I don't think it said lift and cut, but I think all of their shavers now come with lift and cut technology. But I didn't take it out, and it's a little better shave. You see, I mean, I shaved on Thursday night or Wednesday night, so that's the last time I shaved. So it's a little better shave, it's a little more expensive model, but the reason I was makel is because the Torah says that you can rely on the makel shita. But I'm going to give you a new perspective on why it's mutter. I believe it's mutter because what is malakit for hitnir? Rambam says tweezers. Rashi and Maseches Makos says maybe it's some sort of thing to sharpen a shield with. I think malakit. What does malakit for hitnir mean? It seems like it's two different types of things. Malakit for hitnir. No, it's really one type of thing. It's not one thing. Malakit. Malakit is to pluck something. Malakit is to pluck it up. Hitnir sounds like to rotate. Hitnir, it rotates. It's exactly what the lift and cut is. It plucks it up, and you have a rotating blade. That's what you have. So it's one. That's what the Gemara is talking about. You think the Gemara was talking about ancient times? The Gemara was written for all generations. That's exactly what the Gemara is talking about. It's talking about lift and cut, and it's a machlokes. Rabbanan say it's okay. Well, it says it's not okay. So we possibly get Rabbanan. Lift and cut is okay. So you don't have to go machlokes from Moshe Feinstein and Rosh Shlomo Zalman Auerbach. Those are the two big poskim I talked about. I don't remember. There was a big machlokes in the poskim. But it's Machlos Tanoim, right? It's Machlos Tanoim, and we pass on the Rabbanan, so there's nothing to worry about lift and cut. It's another reason why I'm able to rely on using lift and cut technology. Obviously, you can't use a blade, but you could use spirit thing in my face. get my lift and cut shaver and cut this after. It's gotta be tough to be Hasidish. It's not easy. Anyway, or to be a big rabbi and have a long beard. I don't understand it. It doesn't look good, and it makes you feel, uncomfortable. You have to scratch it a lot. But the one good thing is you get to stroke it. It's fun to stroke your hair, your beard over here, but it's not worth it. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed tonight's share, and we'll talk more about this going forward. This is Halacha L'Maisa. Hope you enjoyed. See you in the next one.